Good evening. This day, 30th of January 2020. Thank you for joining me today as we continue the awareness for Nigeria disintegration and the freedom of Biafra Republic. Thank you for joining me. We will be waiting for 500 viewers before we start. We are intensifying the agitation for Biafra freedom. The awareness continues. The collapsing of Nigeria and the total collapse of the national security. Thank you, Joy Godwin, for joining me. Thank you, Iroha, for joining me. Godfrey, thank you. You're welcome this evening. We are going to blow the mind of many this evening. It is going to be mind-blowing information, and after this evening broadcast, the Senate, the House of Representatives should go back to work. They should go back to the drawing board after my broadcast today, because I am going to puncture the tires this evening. John Ifeanyi, thanks for joining me. David Omi, thank you. Sonny Udochukwu, Desmond Smith, thanks for joining me this evening. John Ifeanyi, we'll be waiting for 500 viewers and we start. Maggie, thank you for joining me. Harry Lampard, Godwin Aja, thank you for joining me this evening. The awareness for Nigeria disintegration and freedom of Biafra continues. Ladi, I see you. Kate Ejiofor, thank you for joining me. Daniel Onyeka, thank you. Udoka Samuel. Uba, thank you for joining me. Amechi Obi, I see you all. We'll be waiting for 500 viewers. Nonso Martin, Chika Kati, thank you for joining me. Anoze Joseph, Kelechi Obi, thank you for joining me this evening. Emma Meka Madu Boom, thank you for joining me. Ubochi Obo Ubochi, I see you. Thank you for joining me. Chikezie, thank you. Chido Mwoga, thank you. Chinonso Ozo, thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me. Kalistu Sobona, Edua Courage, Cliff DDK. We are waiting for 500 and we go. Joshua Ihedioha, thank you for joining me. Ezema Chijoke, 500 viewers, here we go. This is my live broadcast today, 30th of January 2020. And today, I am going to be hitting the nail, the hammer on the head. You people must have seen what is going on in Nigeria today. The Senate are talking. The House of Representatives are talking. They have started talking on the same security issues that Simon Ekpa has been shouting about since last year. Now, at the end of January 2020, the National Assembly suddenly wake up. They can now talk in the same tone that Simon Ekpa is talking. You can see in the Green Chamber, almost all the House of Representative members from the Northeast are speaking just the same way Simon Ekpa is speaking, faulting the security apparatus of Nigeria. Some of them even have called for resignation of all the service chiefs. Because when we were shouting, when Biafra agitators were shouting, when IPOB were shouting, when Simon Ekpa were shouting, they call us propaganda. They call us propaganda. Today, when I shared a video of Boko Haram abducting military, Nigeria Army tagged me a propagandist. One person who called himself human rights lawyer wrote Finland, calling me propagandist. The question I am asking the Nigerian military today, and that brown envelope human rights lawyer, whatever he called himself, are you still in Nigeria today? The military spokesperson, are you still in Nigeria today? Are you not seeing what the National Assembly members, what the House of Representatives, the Senate are saying about you? Are you going to write to United Nations that the House of Assembly, House of Representative members and the Senate are calling you people all sorts of names? They call for resignation of all the service chiefs. Are you people not ashamed that what I have been saying since last year is happening now? Now, that is by the way. Let me go straight to the business of the day. Now, they are calling for service chiefs. If you are close to the leader, the Speaker of House of Representatives, or the Senate President, make sure this video goes to them. Make sure this video goes to the senators. Because I'm about to open their brain and their sense of reasoning this evening. Now, I have watched several debates in plenary session at the National Assembly, both at the House of Representatives and at the Senate. I have watched them for a few days, and all I can hear is agony, complain, how security has failed. Even the person who is in Aso Rock parading himself as president say he is shocked about the security situation in Nigeria, that he don't know. Senator Abaribe called for resignation of this government. And before he called for the resignation of this government, he made comment, very important comment. He said, those who live by propaganda will die by propaganda. And immediately, the Senate President interrupted him. After interruption, Senator Abaribe explained what he meant or what he wanted to say by those who live by propaganda dies by propaganda. Abaribe went further to say, we are all in this country. When the information minister or minister of information, the man that lies so much from Kwara State, called Lai Mohammed, has been parading himself, telling Nigerians that Boko Haram has been technically defeated. Whatever that word means, nobody knows. They use propaganda to defeat Boko Haram. And today, Boko Haram is stronger. Not only that Boko Haram is stronger, but the Nigeria government has sponsored them and they have armed them, and now they are ready to conquer Nigeria. They have overpowered military. Military are powerless. So, what am I trying to say? The National Assembly has been debating and they have called for the resignation and the change of all service chiefs. But the thing I want to tell the National Assembly today, the senators and House of Representatives today, is this. The security problem of Nigeria today, has nothing to do with the service chiefs. Yes, we have about 16 service chiefs who are Fulanis. We have all the service chiefs from the north, except the Yoruba man and the one from Cross River also, the chief of naval staff. But the service chiefs, they are not the problem of the security situation in Nigeria. They are not the problem of the failure in national security. The national security has collapsed. Nigeria currently do not have security. Nigeria currently, if any country invade Nigeria today, they will run Nigeria down in 1 week. But the problem is not the service chiefs. Now, most of the senators, most of the House of Reps members are calling for the presidency to change the service chiefs that they have failed. I want to tell you people one thing today. If you change the service chiefs today, what impact will that change make? The answer is it will not make any impact. As I am talking to you people today, the Nigeria security system has been hijacked by Boko Haram. It has been hijacked by ISIS West Africa. It has been hijacked by bandits. It has been hijacked by Fulani herdsmen. It has been hijacked by Ansaru. It has been hijacked by Northern Caliphate. So, changing the security, the service chiefs will not change anything. Because the service chiefs are not the one going to fight Boko Haram. The service chiefs are not the one going to the battlefield to fight. The service chiefs are not the one commanding the foot soldiers, the field soldiers. No. The biggest problem in national security in Nigeria today are the bandits, are the Boko Haram members who have been recruited into Nigerian military. The biggest threat of national security in Nigeria today are not the service chiefs. The biggest threat are those commanders, those major generals from the northeast, from the northwest, from the core northern part of Nigeria who have sworn an oath of allegiance to Boko Haram, and today they have recruited members of Boko Haram into Nigerian military. And today they have other serving military generals who are now apologists to Boko Haram and ISIS West Africa. These are the main threats to national security in Nigeria. If you understand what I'm trying to explain to you now, you know that the problem are not service chiefs. Now, if you change, that is, I'm just trying to let you people know how rotten Nigeria has become. And that is why there is nothing you can do today to solve the security situation in Nigeria. I want anybody who is close to them to make them watch this video and reason what I'm saying. Now, if you change the service chiefs, all the service chiefs, change them, what are they going to do? What are the work of service chiefs? They are not going to a battlefield. They are just there in their office, directing operation and all that. Now, if you change the service chiefs, have you changed the commanders, the military generals, the major generals, the captains, the other lower rank officers who are already Boko Haram members, who have sworn an oath of allegiance to ISIS West Africa, who have become the apologists of the Islamic State? Have you changed them? Because that is where the damages are done. That is the people that are doing the damages to the national security. It is not the service chief. Some of the service chiefs who are Fulanis, of course, aid them. They aided them But the biggest challenge of national security are the people who are now apologists to Islamic State of West African Province, serving in Nigeria Army. How do you change them? How do you identify them? How do you know those who have sworn an oath of allegiance to Islamic State and Boko Haram? How do you identify them? Even now, how do you know those that Burutai have recruited to Nigerian military? These are the problem. These are the threats to national security. And this damage has been done. Burutai have recruited hundreds and thousands of Boko Haram members into Nigerian military today. And there is nothing anybody can do about it. There is nothing the National Assembly can do about it. Are you going to start to pick them one after the other from their different divisions where they are and say, okay, now we sack you? Are you going to retrench all of them? How do you identify them to sack them? If you cannot identify the recruited Boko Haram, where they say repentant Boko Haram members, if you cannot identify those people and sack them, you can never solve the current security problem of Nigeria. If you cannot identify the generals who are normal generals, normal major generals serving in Nigeria Army, but now have sworn an oath of allegiance to support Boko Haram, to support Islamic State of West Africa Province, if you cannot identify those people and sack them, you can never solve the security challenges in Nigeria. And this is the fact. This is the fact on ground. And that is why we are telling you that Nigeria has become irredeemable. The problem of Nigeria has become irredeemable. You cannot do anything to solve the security situation in Nigeria. And the only solution is disintegration. Because now, let's use this for example. If you sack the service chiefs now, all the service chiefs, and change all of them, you will bring new service chiefs. What are they going to do? They will invite those commanders, those major generals in war front. It is still the same people they will be dealing with. And it is still the same soldiers who are sabotaging the fight against Boko Haram in quest to get Islamic State. This is the same people they are dealing with. It is still the same soldiers that have failed Nigeria today that they are going to use to fight Boko Haram. Or are you going to are you going to sack all the soldiers in Nigeria and recruit new soldiers and tell the incoming service chief to deal with these new soldiers? No. It is called, what you are trying to do is putting the old wine in another bottle. You are bringing, you have wine. Instead of refining the wine, you are just putting the wine in another bottle and conking it. And that is not a solution to the security challenges of Nigeria today. This is what I want to tell the National Assembly. Because I have watched a lot of debates. I have watched a lot of presentation and motions how to deal with a security problem. And none of you, from what I have seen so far, are living in reality. The reality on ground is that Nigeria's security system has failed. And it can never get better. It can never get better in the sense that Burutai have recruited Boko Haram members. It can never get better in the sense that military commanders are supporting Boko Haram. As I'm talking to you today, is the Senate, the House of Representatives, aware that about 16 high-rank officers in Nigeria military are under trial for supplying arms to Boko Haram. Are you people aware of that? Are you people aware that as I'm talking to you today, some military personnel are under trial for supplying arms to Boko Haram? And these are the ones, maybe something has happened, and instead of them to overlook it, they decided to use them as a scapegoat. These 16 high-rank military officers that are facing trial today for supplying arms to Boko Haram are just few. There are hundreds of them serving in Nigeria Army. There are hundreds of them not only supplying arms to Boko Haram, but giving Boko Haram information how to deal with the military. And those information the Boko Haram has used very judiciously. I'll give you one example again. You people must have listened to when Governor Wike of Rivers State was accusing the GOC of the 6th Division that whenever they have security meeting, he will go and give information to criminals after the security meeting. That this is a commander, a GOC, a commander of a 6th Division Nigeria Army. After he have a meeting, a security meeting with the Chief Security Officer of Rivers State, Governor Wike, the Army General, the Army Chief will go and give the information to criminals, oil bunkering. They will go and bunker oil for him. And these are the person who is now agitating to become the Chief of Army Staff. So, how are you going to solve the security problem in Nigeria? It is impossible to solve. You can't solve it. Nigeria has collapsed. There is no way you can solve the security challenges in Nigeria today, because the situation is rotten, completely rotten. So when you people come to your red chamber, to your green chamber, to start debating on how to invite security chief, how to go to president who don't know anything. You are debating on how to sack all the service chief. You are debating that the service chief have stayed longer than they should. You are only concerned about how long they have stayed. That is not the problem. It shows that you people are not living in reality. You people don't know anything about security. The service chief can stay 10 years. Of course, I'm not talking about the Constitution, what the Constitution say. But I'm just telling you, no matter how long they stay, it doesn't matter. What matters is, what is the current structure of the security system in Nigeria? Is the security system compromised? The answer is yes. Nigeria military has been compromised. It has been compromised with impunity. So, how can you begin to solve where your national security has been compromised? Not only compromising about leaking a document or classified document or anything. The compromising of this national security has come to a point that it becomes irredeemable. It has come to a point that Boko Haram members are serving in Nigerian military. It has come to a point that Boko Haram members are serving in Nigeria police. It has come to a point that Boko Haram members are serving in civil defense. They are serving in custom. They are serving in road safety. How are you going to solve this problem? You cannot solve it. What Nigeria need now is disintegration. The more you delay this disintegration of Nigeria, the more you are giving them room to unleash this jihad that they have been planning for a very long time. The more you are delaying the disintegration of Nigeria, the more you are empowering them. I was telling you people in my last broadcast that watch out, Fulani people, they will start to arrest Fulani people just to deceive Nigerians and deceive international community. It is happening. I just said it. And I said also that forget, even though that they are watching me saying it, to show how stupid they are going to do exactly what I said. Go through my page. The video is there. I said they are going to start stage managing the arrest of Fulani. Is it not happening? As I'm talking to you today, the news is everywhere that they have arrested Fulanis in Plateau State and they are taking them to Abuja. Why are you taking them to Abuja? You want to stage a very big show that Fulani's community leaders has been arrested in Plateau State. Where would the arrest go? Nowhere. You just parade them, make the headline and all that. I told Nigerians that it will happen, and it is happening. This will not be all. You will be seeing a lot of arrests. And this whole arrest is to just confuse Nigerians. They will continue to do this until your minds are aware. Then they will strike again with different strategy. So, the National Assembly, the Speaker of House of Representatives, who is a Yoruba man, you also remember you invited the service chiefs. None of them honored your invitation. None of them honored it. And then, of course, some people claim the letter honored. Even if though the letter honored it, those service chiefs, sacking them, they have done their own, they have participated in installing Boko Haram members into Nigeria army. That is their own job. They have done that. If you sack them now, you have not sacked the Boko Haram members who are the foot soldiers, who are the one perpetrating this heinous crime and giving Boko Haram information and sometimes even shooting Nigerian military, their own colleague from the back in battlefield. So, Nigeria has collapsed. The presidency can today shamelessly agreeing to the fact that the insecurity in Nigeria has worsened. And these are the people who, just last year, they continue to maintain that Boko Haram has been technically defeated. We were telling them, if Boko Haram has been technically defeated, let Lai Mohammed visit Maiduguri and come back. He will be able to convince Nigerians that Boko Haram has been technically defeated. But Lai Mohammed cannot travel to Borno State. He is there in Kwara State and in Abuja, telling you people that Boko Haram has been technically defeated. Is he not a Nigerian? Is not East Maiduguri not a Nigeria? Is Borno State not in Nigeria? Is he not the Minister of Information in Nigeria? If he is Minister of Information in Nigeria and Boko Haram has been technically defeated, let him go to Borno State and come back as a Minister of Information. He cannot do that. He sit and lie, use propaganda to fight Boko Haram. Today, it is over. Nigeria is rotten. The security system has collapsed. So why I'm telling them, the National Assembly, what I'm trying to tell the National Assembly this evening is this. You are wasting time. You are chasing shadow. The service chief you are chasing is shadow. They are shadow. Chasing them and replacing them with any service chief does not solve any problem. The only time you can solve the problem of this security breach and the collapse of national security in Nigeria is by identifying all the Boko Haram members serving in Nigeria army. by identifying all the Boko Haram apologists serving in Nigeria Army, by identifying all Boko Haram members, all ISIS West African members giving serving in Nigeria Army and giving information to Boko Haram. And this task is impossible. You see that? It is impossible for you to identify them, to identify who is Boko Haram member, to identify who is a Boko Haram member in Nigeria military. It is impossible. And that is why this journey you are embarking on, the National Assembly, the Senate President, the Speaker of House of Representatives, the journey you are embarking on is a fruitless journey. This journey of trying to see solution to security problem in Nigeria is a fruitless journey. It's a fruitless journey until you realize that what I have just said here now is the fact. That you cannot sack the service chiefs that are not in the field. The people that you should look into are the military generals, the commanders who are in the battlefield. Those who are giving order for the Nigerian military to retreat when they are fighting Boko Haram. Those who are giving order and asking military to go when they have no ammunition to fight Boko Haram, only for them to be ambushed. You have to look into the 12 soldiers from Biafra land who have been sentenced to death by firing squad because they protested what you are protesting today. Will you call that, is it fair? Nigerians, the National Assembly, is it fair? Is it fair that 12 Biafran soldiers are facing firing squad? Death, sentenced to death by firing squad for protesting the same thing you are protesting today in the red chamber. Protesting the same thing you are protesting today in the green chamber. And they are the ones who have been sent to go and die. Ill-equipped, they protested, and today they sentenced them to death by firing squad. And none of you came out to speak. Let's even assume that during the time of this sentence, you are not knowledgeable as you are now. You have not been informed. You are not conversant with the security situation in Nigeria as you are now, because now you are speaking up. Now you know that Nigeria is in danger. Now you know the kind of danger that is in Nigeria. Now you know the impending danger. So now that you know that Nigeria's security has failed, will you rise up tomorrow at the red chamber and at the green chamber to request a review of those soldiers from Biafra land that has been sentenced to death by firing squad if they are still alive? Even if they have been killed, there are some of them who has been sentenced to life imprisonment. Can you now, the Senate President, the Speaker of House of Representatives, call the military chief to order to review the sentencing of those innocent soldiers who were protesting only the corruption, the failing of security system in the military that you are all condemning today? There is no difference between what you people are doing today with what those soldiers have done. Those soldiers were too angered that their colleagues were all ambushed because of the corruption of those military chiefs. They opened fire on the vehicle of the general. They never planned to kill him. They opened fire in protest of the ill treatment and how they have handled security issue of Nigeria. And they televised their sentencing in national TV. The Senate, you didn't talk. The House of Representatives, you didn't talk. Is it not time that you talk? Because the truth is finally out. You people must not allow the remaining soldiers to be killed or to be languished in life imprisonment in Nigeria Army. You must not allow the remaining soldiers, the lucky one, that is if they are still alive, to remain there. You people must intervene and save their life, because what they stood for, what they protested for, is what you are protesting today. So you see that they were right. You see that those soldiers who rebelled to protest the injustice, the corruption in Nigeria military, they were right. But they were sentenced to death by firing squad. So now that you have known the truth, it is time some of you raise the motion at the red chamber and at the green chamber for immediate review. For those who are still alive, they should be released, because the military have failed. The military do not have the moral right. They don't have any moral right to sentence any soldier who protested their impunity, their corruption, to sentence them to firing squad, to death by firing squad. They sentenced those soldiers. We don't know where they are today. But I'll leave this to you. If you watch this video as a House of Representative member, and you did not raise this issue at the House, at the floor, if you watch this video as a senator, and you did not raise this issue I just mentioned now, you did not raise a motion, the blood of those innocent soldiers will be on your head. If they are not killed yet, even if they are killed, raise the motion. Let us know how many of them that are still alive. If you do not do it, the blood will be on your hand. The blood of those soldiers will be on your hand, and this video, the spirit will continue to torment you. So as you watch this video, you must make sure that the motion is raised at the National Assembly. You people should look into it, because the military have failed. That is by the way. Another thing is that, as you can see, I have told you people that what the National Assembly is doing is that they are chasing shadow. So the collapse of national security in Nigeria as the presidency meet with the service chiefs today. The outcome of that meeting is what Simon Ekpa don't know. But I'll tell you one thing. Now, how can you have a security meeting and you don't have anybody of Igbo-speaking person representing the interests of Ndi Igbo at the national level, in a national security meeting? You don't have any Igbo man or Igbo person at the Security Council meeting. When you ask them, they tell you the Chief of Naval Staff, Eckart, what is his name again, is there. And you will be wondering, since they are the one who is dividing Nigeria, they divide you south-south, they divide you southeast, they divide you southwest. Now, they want to give chief of security chiefs they give South-South, which they divided. They divided it, not we divide it. They divided it. They give Southwest, and they did not give Southeast. And when you ask them, they tell you it is the zone. Who is deceiving who? You are the one who divided South-South and Southeast and Southwest. And you give the chief of army staff, or whatever it's called, you have a Yoruba man in the Security Council meeting. You have Cross River man or Calabar man in the Security Council meeting. But you don't have any Igbo man. So, everything that I have been doing since 2015, Igbo do not have any representative in the security discussion in Nigeria. Since 2015. No Igbo person, nobody is representing the interests of Ndi Igbo as it comes to security. So if they are there and decided that, okay, all Igbo should be killed, nobody will raise an eyebrow. Nobody will even object. How do we know what they are discussing at the Security Council meeting? How do Igbos know what these governments are discussing at the security meeting? Since we don't have anybody there. But when any time you ask and raise this question, they tell you the zone. Where is the zone? What is the zone? Is the zone South-South? Or is the zone Southeast? Or is the zone Southwest? But each time they tell you that all security chiefs, all the zone has been represented. So I do not know which zone does the Southeast belong to. Since they are divided, since they are the one dividing it, they should come and tell us which zone does this chief of naval staff belong to. Because as I'm talking to you right now, according to the Nigeria system, the divide and rule, they have divided us and we have South-South and Southeast. And as far as I'm concerned, and as far as this division is concerned, the chief of naval staff is from South-South. So, who is representing the Southeast at the Security Council meeting? Nobody. Nobody is representing the Igbos. That is how these people hate Igbos. What I will tell them this evening is that we even hate them more. We don't like them at all. We hate them more than they. In fact, we hate them with everything at our disposal. Because we have seen it since 2015 till today. There is no single Igbo person in the Security Council meeting. And people are not thinking about it. People are not thinking about it. Today, we don't know what is going on at the Security Council meeting. Nobody from Igbo, no Igbo person know anything going on in the Security Council meeting. Every time they are having secret meeting, secret meeting, secret meeting. The point is that the secret meeting they are having, it is as they are finishing the meeting, whatever they discuss is on our desk, even without being there. And that is the reason why they know we are like million steps ahead of them. The only thing is that we don't have anybody talking on our behalf in the Security Council meeting. Whatever they decide, they will come and unleash it on the Igbos. You see? So, when they tell you that there is security, there is the breach of national security and the collapse of national security, what we mean is that, first of all, the National Assembly should understand that the sacking of service chiefs will not solve the security problem in Nigeria today, because they are not the main problem of the security threat in Nigeria. And I have explained this several times. And then, what I mean, there are other security threats nobody is talking about. And that security threat will end Nigeria. By this statement, what I mean is this. Since you know that you have Boko Haram members serving in Nigeria army, and you know that there is no way you can identify them because Burutai have done his job. If you sack Burutai today, if you change Burutai today, it will not change anything because he has done his job. His job is to make sure that he integrated all Boko Haram members into Nigeria military, into security agency, and he has done that job. So sacking him today is medicine after that, after death. If you sack the service chief today, is also medicine after death. They have done their job. Their main job is to supervise the integration of Islamic State fighters into Nigeria military. And they have done that, and they have executed that task, and they have done it very well. And that is why it is already late. Because you people are waking up now. When we are talking about they are recruiting Boko Haram member, you people are sleeping, you are busy playing politics. Now it is late because you can't identify them. You can't know who is Boko Haram and who is not Boko Haram in Nigeria military and police. So the solution to this national security issue is disintegration. Let the Arewa Republic have their army that are full of Boko Haram. Because we know today, no Yoruba man that is serving in Nigeria military that is apologist to Boko Haram insurgency. No Yoruba man serving in Nigeria army today that is an apologist to Islamic State of West Africa province. No Biafra soldier serving in Nigeria military today or in Nigeria police will have any sympathy or is an apologist to Islamic State of West African province. No Biafra soldier serving in Nigeria military today is an apologist to Boko Haram insurgency in the north. So, disintegrate Nigeria, let the military, let the Biafra military come back to Biafra land and continue their service. Let the Oduduwa military go back to Oduduwa land and continue their service instead of mixing this whole thing. Because you can't solve the security problem. Today you are sending the Boko Haram members from the northern part of Nigeria to the southern part of Nigeria. Why? Why must you do that? Why must you do that? Because you are bringing them so that by the time the Fulani herdsmen, your full soldiers, your militia group are committing jihad, those military men from the north, those Boko Haram members will shell them and even contribute in killing our people. We understand that from next week, I said it before, that from the first week of February, except they have postponed it, they are going to be transferred. They are going to transfer high-rank military officers who are from the southern part of Nigeria. They will transfer them to the north. It is happening already. Some of you are being transferred to Kaduna. They tell you are going for training. Which training are you going for? You are not going to any training. They are transferring you to Kaduna, to other northern part of Nigeria to stay there, and they will bring the Boko Haram members to the southern part of Nigeria to start committing mayhem and these atrocities against our people. And this cannot continue. So the Speaker of House of Representatives should understand this, that what they are trying to do is pouring water on a stone. Because this journey they are embarking on is a fruitless journey. It's a fruitless journey. They should reason what I am saying now to know that if Boko Haram truly have been recruited into Nigeria military, if truly that there are some military officers who have been supplying arms to Boko Haram, if truly that there are apologists of Boko Haram serving in Nigeria military, then it is finished. And they should investigate this whether I am lying or not. As I'm talking to you today, there are 16 high-rank officers who are under trial for supplying arms for Boko Haram. And when you have 16 high-rank officers, I tell you there are hundreds of them who you have not arrested. So the National Assembly should investigate this, my claim. If they investigate this claim I'm making now, and they find truth in it, then they should forget issue of service chief, because they are just buying time. The only thing they should start to do now is to see how to disintegrate Nigeria in peace. But of course, the Senate president who is from the north will never agree to that. He will never agree to that because he is protecting the interests of the caliphate. But that is the inevitable thing that will happen, the disintegration of Nigeria. Because the time is coming when, as I have shouted about this security issue, you people did not listen, but today you are shouting like me. The same way I'm shouting about disintegration now, but in a few months' time, you will shout this disintegration more than me. Those of you at the National Assembly will shout Nigeria disintegration more than me when your eye finally open to see what I am talking now, to see what I am saying, to see what I am talking about. By the time you see what I am talking about now, and maybe that by then it will be late. By the time you see it, you will shout more than me. And that time is coming. And I will still come back here and say it. The way I'm saying it now, because now you people are shouting about the security failure, about the collapse of the security system, which I have been shouting since last year. But in 2020 January, you are coming to shout, and it has become a debate. Every day, what you debate at the National Assembly. I'm going to shout this disintegration when the time comes, because you people will shout more than me. When you finally understand what I'm talking about. Now, I must commend the Southeast governors, governor of Biafra land. I must commend them because finally something good is coming. The governors of the Biafra land, like the Igbo-speaking state, at least, have concluded to set up the regional security outfit. This is a very good news. The governors has finally concluded. They have also concluded their plan for the regional security outfit. But my advice to the governors is this. This security outfit, please, you people must not try to be holier than thou. You must not have anything to discuss with Nigeria police, especially being led by the Fulanis. The Nigeria police must not be the one to give you order. You have to learn from Yorubas. You have to learn from Oduduwa people how they do the Amatekon. It must be strictly an independent security outfit. Of course, they can work with the police. They can work with the police, but it must be an independent security outfit. Not like this kind of vigilante that you go and arrest somebody, you call police and ask police for permission to go. No, 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 no. And don't discuss your security matter with any Northerner, any Fulani, a police commissioner or anything. If that is what you people are trying to do, then it must be dead on arrival. But first of all, I must commend your effort for coming out boldly now to set up this regional security outfit in Biafra land. One thing I must tell you people also, as you are recruiting members of this security outfit, those of you, you should know that all the Biafra agitators, all Biafra group, all Biafra agitators must be part. It is a matter of must. If you want to be successful in this security outfit, it is not politics. You must not begin to employ people who are thugs, who you have used as thugs during the election. No, you are going to sabotage our security if you do that. We don't want to see people who are touts being recruited into security outfit. We don't want to see thugs being recruited into security outfit. We want to see genuine people. We want to see people who are ready to defend the land. We don't want to see political thuggery. We don't want to see political thugs. The people you have used during the election and now you are looking for a way to employ them. No, we want to see genuine Biafran. We want to see genuine people who are ready to give their life to protect the lives and property of our people in Biafra land. And for now, you should source your personnel from all agitating group, starting from IPOB. Starting from IPOB members. Starting from IPOB members, MOSOB members, BZM members, you have to make sure that you include all this agitating group in your security outfit, otherwise you have failed. This is advice I am giving to governors in Biafra land. You must not use this security outfit as a means of empowering your political talks. No. And if that happens, we will know, because we will know who have been recruited. We will know the people who have been recruited into the security outfit. You must learn from Yoruba people that Yoruba people did not just bring OPC together. They brought different group from Yoruba land. The different group from Yoruba land has come together to form Amotekon. So if you are forming a regional security outfit in Biafra land, it must be similar thing. If you really want to curtail the security issue in Biafra, it must be similar thing. It must be championed by IPOB, by MOSOB, by BZM, by any other agitating group in Biafra land, well selected, and that is the best way to start. But if you begin to select the people you use to rig election, if you begin to select the people that you use to snap ballot box, the security system has failed on arrival. And you will become the mockery of Nigeria. They will mock you, and we don't want that kind of thing to happen in Biafra land. This opportunity will never come again. So the governors of Biafra land, southeast of Nigeria, I am calling on you people that you must look into this issue of making sure that this regional security outfit that you are setting up now, that Biafra agitators, IPOB members, MOSOB members, BZM members must well be represented in this security outfit, and so that for effective security of life and property in Biafra land. This is what I'm telling the governors, but I must commend you for coming boldly to do this. Now, to my Ijo people, to my Ijo brothers, to Asaridi Kubo. Those of you who know Asaridi Kubo, make sure you forward this video to him. After my broadcast, let him watch this video and think over it. Today, the Ijo people are the most abused people in Nigeria. Ijo people are the most mocked people in Nigeria by the North. That is where the oil of this Nigeria is situated. The oil that the Northern, the Caliphate, this Islamic State, and this Boko Haram are fighting to conquer Nigeria is because of the oil in Ijo land. And when we are talking about Biafra, I do not know what transpired between Asaridu Kubo and other agitating group, but whatever the situation is, but whatever that has transpired between you and any agitating group, remember this. Remember this. The enemy that you know today, the enemy that we know today, they are not people from Biafra land. The enemy that you know today are not Igbos. Your enemy are Hausa Fulani. Your enemies are not, who have conquered your land by making sure that they take possession of everything that has to do with oil in your land. So if you continue Asaridu Kubo, If you continue to think that Igbos are your enemy, you are making a very big mistake. And if you have had misunderstanding with anybody, with any agitating group, misunderstanding is misunderstanding. And even in family, there are misunderstanding, and people will always sort themselves out. You are a man, and a powerful man as that. So I am calling you, Asaridu Kubo, it is time to wake up. It is time. I'm not going to start reading the things that you already know. But for the sake of your followers who do not know yet what is on ground, I would like to read a couple of things to your followers who will also probably watch this video so that they will listen and know what is going on in Ijoland. Now, you know that there are 4 oil-producing states in South-South, which is Akwa Ibom, Delta, Rivers, and Bayelsa. Do you know, as I talk to you today, there is no single man from Ijoland heading any oil sector? Are you aware of that? Asaridu Kubo, are you aware that as I talk to you today, there is no single man from Ijoland heading any oil sector, any oil thing, anything oil in Nigeria? Now, let me read something to you. The appointment of the presidency today to the oil industry. Listen to me, and after reading this thing, you will go to confirm it. Do you know that somebody called Malami Shehu is the MD, Port Harcourt Refinery? He is a Northerner. He is not from any of these 4 states, but he is the MD. And he has employed all the Northern brothers and caliphate. Are you aware of that? That is number 1. Number 2, do you know that the Warri refinery, which is in your backyard, is being headed by somebody called Mohammed Abba, a Northerner? Mohammed Abba is the MD of Warri Refinery. Are you seeing that? I want all your followers to hear me and know and understand what I am talking about. This is number 2. Mohammed Abba is a Northerner. He is the MD and heading the Warri Refinery as I speak to you today. And as he head Warri Refinery, he is the one that has employed, even the refinery is not even working. It is a way to siphon money and embezzle money of the federal government. Or are you saying that the Warri or refinery is working? The refinery is not working. Port Harcourt Refinery is not working. Is it if it's working? Maybe I don't know. If it is working, I don't know. But somebody is the MD from the north. The Warri Refinery, somebody is the MD from the north. Are they working? I don't know. You people are there. You should know whether it is working or it is not working. Now, that is 2. Number 3, do you know that the Umar Ajia is the MD of the MPMC? He is not from the oil producing state. He is from the north. Asaridu Kubo, are you watching this video? Because what I'm saying now is what you have knowledge about, but your followers may not know this. And if you don't have the knowledge, at least you will have the knowledge from this video. Now, 4, do you know that Balawunti is the GGM CP and S, and he is not from the oil producing state. He is from the north. He is a northerner. If you don't know that, you know it today. That the northerners have hijacked your territory, Ijo land, and all the natural resources in Ijo land. And we are here talking about fighting each other in Biafra. Number 5. Do you know somebody called Usman Yusuf? Usman Yusuf is the GMD STA Technical. Is from the northerner, is from the northern part of Nigeria, but making the Ijo natural resources. Decision on Ijo natural resources. Are you aware of that? Let me continue. Number 6. Do you know that somebody called Ahmadu Katangum is the GGM of shipping downstream in Ijo land? And he is a northerner. He is not from the 4 oil producing states. Are you hearing that? Are your followers hearing me? Now, number 7. Are you aware that somebody called Kalamu Abdullahi is the GGM renewable energy? Are you aware of that? He's a northerner. Now, let me continue. Do you know? Do you also know? Listen, Asaridu Kubo. Do you know that Ibrahim Birma is the GGM governance? All these things are happening in Niger Delta. Do you know that Mohamed Buhari is the petroleum minister? The petroleum that is in Niger Delta. This person who is parading himself as president, they call him, some people call him Mohamed Buhari, some people call him Jubril. That he is the minister of petroleum that is in Ijo land. Are you aware of that? Okay, if this one is not enough, if you are not, if all these things I have just mentioned now is not, do you also know that somebody called Farouk Ahmed is the MD, product, marketing? All of them from the north. Now, let us go to the southwest of Nigeria. How many people are representing the southwest? How many people are representing the southwest in Ijo land? Let us check. Do you know that somebody called Adewale Ladenagan is the MD, Kaduna Refinery? Does Kaduna have oil? Is Kaduna Refinery working? The answer is no. But if it is working today, Simon Ekpa is not aware of. But why would somebody be MD of a refinery that is not working? That is 1. 2, do you know that somebody called Adeyemi Adetunji is the MD, retails? Bola Afobi is the GGM research development. Only 3 people from the southwest of Nigeria. But I have counted 11 people from the north, only on oil from Ijo land. But in the west, in the southwest, we have only 3 representatives. 1 is the MD of Kaduna Refinery, 1 is retail, 1 is the research and development. 3. Now, let us come to the south-south, the word all of you must listen. South South. South South is you, your people, Asaridu Kubo. South South is your people, Ijo people, Asaridu Kubo. How many people from South South are representing you or representing Nigeria in your oil-rich region? It will shock you. Only two. Only two human beings. Now, listen to their names. From South South, we have Roland Ewubare, who is the group GM. Two, we have Dieprie Tariab, the MD, IDSL. Finish. Nobody else. Asaridu Kubo, are you aware of the... Of course, if you have a better list than what I am saying now, you can also use that list you have that has more people than that I'm reading now, and you can use it also to meditate on what I am saying. In all I have read now, Northerners have 11 representatives siphoning you the money from the oil from Ijoland. 11 representatives. The southwest of Nigeria, Yoruba, have 3 representatives, but the south, where the oil come from, have only 2. Only 2 persons. Asaridu Kubo. And when we are talking about our independence, you people are only looking about problems within. You people are only looking about how you have a disagreement with Nnamdi Kanu and disagreement with this and disagreement with that. Small things that we should sit down in the round table and discuss our problem and focus and face our enemy. Do you see who your enemy is? Do you see who your enemies are? That in Nigeria, the oil in Ijo land have only 2 persons from the southwest, from the south of Nigeria that has something to do with oil. Does that make sense? Now, that is not enough. Let us go to southeast. How many persons from southeast is representing Nigeria in Ijo land? In Ijo, in the oil, in the natural resources in Ijo land. How many persons from the southeast? The answer is 0. The southeast of Nigeria do not have 1 single person. Not even a cleaner to clean oil well, or to clean the refinery, or to clean the machines, or to clean the offices. You don't have any person from the southeast of Nigeria doing anything in Ijo oil. Is this fair? Is this fair? No, this is not enough. You will ask yourself a question. Do you have any oil in the north? The answer is no. How many of you in Ijo land have oil well? How many of you in Ijo land have oil well? You don't have. Now, what we are saying is this. This Biafra agitation that most of you have, some of you have misunderstood some things when it comes to the name. You will say Biafra this, Biafra this. I know some time ago when you, Asaridu Kubo, was faulting so many things done by your people, how they did not fight alongside Biafra and all that, and that mistake will not repeat itself. And of course, who knows what transpired between you and some Biafra agitators, and then you back down and you begin to follow NLC, the Lower Niger Congress. Lower Niger Congress is also Biafra. And now, it is time to put all we have together. It is time the Lower Niger Congress come to term to understand that the political system in Nigeria, it will be very difficult to allow the North will never allow any kind of constitutional amendment to happen. What we need now is a coalition of the whole southern part of Nigeria and middle belt to disintegrate Nigeria. And why is it important, as a Kuba, that you come back to this agitation of Biafra? Of course, you are still agitating for Biafra, I know. But it is time we put all our resources in one basket and make it more effective. Is that when Biafra is actualized, Ijaw people will have every right to control their natural resources by themselves. Ijaw people will have every right, uninterrupted right, to control their natural resources and build their nation with whatever they make from their natural resources. And of course, whether they will be contributing to the center, depending on how Biafra government is going to be run, will depend on the roundtable discussion. The Igbos are never interested in Ijaw oil. Even though in Ijaw land, we have Igbo-speaking people in Ijaw land. We have Igbo-speaking people in Ichekiri. We have Igbo-speaking people in this south of a lot of almost all the states. We have Igbo-speaking people down to Cameroon. So we are not interested in Ijaw oil, and this is a fact that every Ijaw person should understand, that Igbos are not interested in Ijaw oil. Igbos have a lot of natural resources that even this Nigeria government have not tapped. And we will begin to run a government that is totally different than what you see. We will run a government that cannot depend on oil. The Nigeria oil has become a curse. So Ijaw people will have completely autonomy over oil, to control the oil and build their nation with whatever they make, however they want it. But the point is that they must be under supervision to make sure that they develop Ijaw land, because Ijaw land is like a war zone. You cannot believe when you visit Ijaw nation that a place where oil is coming from, where the northern people are getting wealth from, all those people using Rolls Royce in Nigeria, all the emirs in northern part of Nigeria have oil well. The billionaires in Nigeria have oil well from the Ijaw nation. And when you enter Ijaw, the only thing you see is mud house. The only thing you see is a house like Fulani house. You cannot see good house in Ijaw land. You see people living on swamp, and we cannot allow you people to live like that when Biafra is actualized. We will make sure that you use your resources, use the money, and build your nation to the standard that Biafra wants. So if you are thinking that Biafrans are coming for oil in Ijaw land, which is what these Hausa people are using to deceive you, and they will deceive you that Igbos will dominate you, Igbos will dominate you. I am asking you now from Ijaw land, if Igbos are dominating you, what I have just read to you now, did you see any Igbo there? You see 11 Northerners dominating you already, dominating your natural resources, and they will come through the back door to brainwash you that Igbos are going to dominate you. Do you see any Igbo name in this list I just read now? You don't see any Igbo man. And we are not interested. And the Igbos are still waxing stronger. The only thing we need is that we need peace. We need freedom. We need that we come together, disintegrate Nigeria, and start building our nation. Start protecting our women, our men, and our children against rapists, against killers, against Islamic State, against bandits and Fulani herdsmen. That is all we want. We want an environment for Igbo business to excel. The Biafra, Biafra business will be something that nobody has seen in Africa. It will meet some standard. You don't see any adulterated thing in Biafra land. Nigeria system has made this, whether you go to market, you see people selling adulterated things. It cannot happen in Biafra. Biafra will have the best standard in Africa. It will be competing with European standard. Before you import anything into Biafra, it will meet international standard. Not all these things they are doing in Nigeria. Go to Cotonou, go to this and bring something. If you must import something into Biafra, it will meet international standard, European standard. That is the country we want. Because people who are coming to join hands to build Biafra are Biafrans all over the world. Biafrans all over the world who have done wonders in their various places will come together with the people at home and join hands to build the best country, the beginning of civilization in Africa. That is going to be called Biafra. So Asaride Kubo, think on this word, and you know that delay is dangerous. Delay is dangerous. We must not allow the enemies to trade on our ignorance. We must not allow the enemies to trade on our negligence. It is time everybody put pride aside. You put your pride aside, put your ego aside. This is not only to Asari, to all the Biafra agitating group. You put all your egos aside. Start calling your brothers, start calling your fellow agitators, and you people must start robbing man, because what is going to happen in Nigeria now, we have to take the advantage of what is going to happen. And like I said, I have been saying this since last, that the first quarter of this year, a lot is going to happen in Nigeria. And we are only in January. It is already happening. We are only in January, and the security system in Nigeria has already collapsed. It is time we take advantage of the collapse of the security. It is time we take advantage of anything negatively that happens to Nigeria. It is for our own advantage. And we must use this advantage as they come. And the time is now. The time is now. I want to inform Nigerians that the military is planning to declare state of emergency in southern part of Nigeria. The governors in the southern part of Nigeria must resist in its strongest term any state of emergency in the southern part of Nigeria, because we are not in war in the southern part of Nigeria. If they want to declare state of emergency, they should declare it in the north, not in the south. So there is this information reaching me that the military are planning to declare state of emergency in the southern part of Nigeria and deploy all this Boko Haram military into the southern part of Nigeria. And their claim is that they want to stop further breakdown of law and order. I don't know where the breakdown of law and order is happening in the southern part of Nigeria. Is there any war going on in the southern part of Nigeria? The military is planning to invade the southern part of Nigeria with their Boko Haram members in the military, claiming that they want to prevent the breakdown of law and order. What are you preventing? Is there anybody threatening anybody in the southern part of Nigeria that military is planning to declare state of emergency? Are they trying to, is military trying to make overthrow of government? We don't know. They should come and explain to us. But what I'm saying now is that the governors must reject any state of emergency in any southern states in Nigeria. They must reject it because it is a plan to hijack the government, and we must not allow that. So I've given you this hint now. It is left for you to work on it and get prepared. Any day you see military coming to say that they are trying to prevent anything, tell them to go back to barrack. That is where they belong. And do not allow any Hausa man to come from the north when you don't know whether it's a Boko Haram member, come to military and start giving you order in the south and start shooting people. If they want to plan coup and overthrow Buhari government, they should do that in Abuja. The capital of Nigeria is not in Lagos, is not in eastern part of Nigeria, is not in the southern part of Nigeria. It is in Abuja. So if they have anything to do with anything that has to do with overthrow of government, they should do that in Abuja, not in the south part of Nigeria. So this information I want to pass, that the governors must make sure that they are very vigilant and never allow any military to come and claim to them that they want to stop break of law and order. I don't know who is breaking law and order. Meanwhile, every day, they are, as we talk now, the Senate are debating every day. People are being killed and kidnapped, and Boko Haram has taken over Borno State. So if they want to do anything, they should go to Borno State. That is where the problem is not in the southern part of Nigeria. They should leave the southern part of Nigeria alone. And if this thing begins to happen next week, remember that I said it today. Thank you. So thank you for watching me this evening. And remember, as this awareness continues, we will be coming live online to tell you people what is going on, enlighten you. And as the thing changes, we change also. As the news are coming, as the information, the things are unfolding, we'll be coming online to brief you and also lecture you and make you think deep. And if you have friends who are yet to understand why Biafra, why Nigeria must disintegrate, you should always invite them to our live videos. After you watch, you can send the video, the links to them, subscribe to to this page, like this page, so that whenever I'm live, you can get the notification of my live videos. And when I post video, of course, most of you are not getting live video my notification again, because sometimes most of them in Nigeria, they don't know what they do with the Facebook. But of course, if you are not getting notification again, make sure you come back to my page, check whether you still like my page, whether you still subscribe to notification, like and follow my page. For most importantly, you like and follow the page, because sometimes if you only like the page and you don't follow the page, you may not get notification. Or if you follow the page, you don't like the page, you may not get notification all the time. So I think if you are liking my page, you should also try to follow the page. Thank you for being with me this evening as the struggle continue, and we are winning the war. We are winning the war. As you people can see what is happening today, we are winning the war. This is the first time the Senate are debating the security issue, the presidency, they are debating, the National Assembly, the House of Representatives, they are debating, everywhere they are debating, because now they are dancing our music. That music we have been playing for a very long time, they are dancing it now. So we are winning the war, and the disintegration of Nigeria is the only solution to this problem, and Nigeria must disintegrate. We will continue to sing and talk and shout for them to understand that if what we have been shouting since last year is happening now that we are shouting for disintegration, it must not be long. They should adopt that in disintegration. They should know that the only solution to the problem of Nigeria is disintegration, and everybody shall live in peace, and that will bring end to insurgency, to Fulani herdsmen killing of the southern part of Nigeria. Thank you very much, and good night.